Only kidding.
I bet you thought we were going to have a wonky podcast, which we just might.
We just might have problems, yes. We tried recording on a new device and it worked really well. It worked amazingly well. The sound was good, the picture was good, the video was good, everything was great.
What?
Until today. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, it's not really working all that well, and Amy is skipping, and I think it's my internet. And now I just got a text. Yeah. So we are the Periscoping Sisters. Welcome back. It's been a little while since we recorded. Well, not really. We recorded last week and had all kinds of sound issues. So we're trying again. Go ahead.
There were almost people that saw Skein 12 before we decided to make it private and try a new device. So now we're recording again. So those of you who did get to see it, you can hang out if you want. We're going to try to show as much as we remember from the last time, but there's always something new in every podcast. So this is Skein 12, take 2.
Yes.
It's August
7th. Mm-hmm.
Sunday. And I'm Amy. I'm the sister in Georgia. I'm Inked Indigo on Instagram and Indigo Amy on Ravelry.
And I'm Debbie. I'm the sister in California, and I'm Debbie S. Reese on Instagram and Debbie Reese on Ravelry. Why are you making crazy faces?
Because remember when we practiced this earlier this week, we had to make sure that only one person talked at the same time. So we went to let the other person know, which that will get really old. Mother said, maybe you should put your finger up to your chin.
Okay, that last part didn't come through at all, but that's okay. I know what you meant. Mother said, yes, put your finger up on your chin. Mm-hmm.
When you're finished speaking. Speaking of picking your nose, okay, so all of those, you said, we had a poltergeist in our microwave along with other things in our house that have been doing wonky things. I did break down and get a new microwave because somebody did tell Debbie, instant messaged her and said that her daughter or somebody they knew, their house burned down because the microwave turned on by itself. And it was working perfectly fine, and then you open the door and it would keep going. So I just would reach in real quick to get my coffee out, and I told Debbie if I'm 80 with this claw that can't hold knitting needles, that she'll have to remind me it was because I was reaching into a microwave that was still running. And so she said that how would I pick my nose if I had a claw hand? Well, no worries. I got a new microwave. So we're good now.
I'm so glad to hear that, because when I got that message, I texted you right away. She said that they lost their kitchen. They almost lost their whole house. If someone wasn't home at the time, they would have lost their whole house. So thank you so much. I don't remember your name.
And my microwave is very close to my stash, and that would be horrific if my stash burned up.
That would be.
I'm eating emergency.
What are you eating for your emergency snack?
We just got back from the grocery store, so I just got some crunchy red grapes. Would you like one?
No, thank you. I'll pass.
Watching the Olympics.
I am watching the Olympics. I watched some of the men's gymnastics last night and how the Americans almost fell on their head every time on that stupid pommel horse. I cannot even watch that event.
Did you see the guy that broke his leg in half and his lower leg was like hanging out like that?
No. What country?
You remember what country that was, honey? Ronnie had to play me that video right before I went to bed. I'm surprised I didn't have nightmares. Yeah, it was not the pommel horse, it was the vault. They fly over. When he landed, he fell back, and literally between his knee and his ankle, it was like that kind of angle. It was disgusting.
Oh my God.
I know, bad.
That must have been late because I didn't see that. I must have gone to bed.
Maybe they didn't air that. They just put it on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah,
It may have been an old
you're probably right. They probably didn't air it on the regular TV.
as an old. All right, so we've got to tell the life is short story about the cucumber. I didn't realize when you showed your cucumber stitch marker from Nitty by Nature, Melissa, that I was arguing with mother. I was arguing with mother, knowing for sure that her Alzheimer's was getting the best of her when she said, "You haven't told that story." And I said, "Yes, we did. I forgot. Debbie told the story on a Periscope. That's why I thought we told the story, but we hadn't told the story on a podcast."
Okay, so do you want me to tell the story now?
Go for it. I will interrupt you at some point, but go for it.
Okay. I will watch, and when you're ready to speak, you can raise your hand like that, so I will stop talking.
Oh.
So we, gosh, I don't remember how old we were because I was younger than 9 because we were in the house in Percy, I believe. Is that right? Percy? Okay. So we were at home. Gosh, if I was only under 9 years old, our parents were leaving us home when we were really young. Shame on you, Mom and Dad. But Wendy was very responsible, and she was 3 years older than me. So I guess she must have been 12 or so. So maybe a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 9-year-old would be fine at home for part of a summer day. But anyway, my mom was working, and we weren't really allowed to call her at work because she worked at the hospital. She was an anesthetist, and she worked in the operating room all day long. And so we couldn't just call her on the phone. It was very hard to get a hold of her because she'd be in the operating room. Yes, you may speak.
Except for emergencies.
Oh, that's right. If there was an emergency, we could call Mom and interrupt her in her day. So when I guess Wendy went to the bathroom and the toilets started to bubble over and overflow and overflow and overflow, and she freaked out and she called Mom and she said it was an emergency. She must speak to her mother. So they pulled her out of surgery. Yes, I'm obviously not telling the story correctly. I was too young to remember.
I know the details is because mother reminded me. I remember some of the well, we had issues with we lived in a ranch, 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch. So the toilet, obviously there were issues with the toilet. Mom told us before she went to work that morning, the plumber is coming to fix the toilet. Okay, so here's a husband and wife who feel it's safe to leave their 3 children around 10 years old or younger in the house by themselves, let a stranger, the plumber, come and fix the toilet. That's beside the point. So when the plumber decided in order to fix the toilet, he had to remove the toilet. That's when we decided it was an emergency to call mother.
Okay.
Dissertation to the next anesthesiologist to come in, and this is how many drugs I gave this person and all of that. So 15 minutes later, she's rushing out, finally to find out why her daughters are calling us with an emergency. And we said the plumber came and took the toilet. And she says, well, I told you he was going to fix the toilet. No, Mom, you don't understand. He took the toilet. So it wasn't when you only have one toilet in the entire house. Well, come to find out, mother had a big garden, and we would do pickle. Mom would do make bread and butter pickles, sweet pickles, and so she would line up all the cucumbers. Well, apparently the plumber had said the reason the toilet was not working is because there was a cucumber in the toilet. Now, we had an old English sheepdog, just like Sue's, Izzy. Her name was Joy, and maybe it was before Joy. Maybe that was Peace at the time. Anyway, for years, we asked each other, now, did the plumber really mean truly there was a cucumber in the toilet? Or was that like code word for plumbers that there was a really, really big turd that he called a cucumber? And I'm not really sure to this day if we figured out if it really was a true cucumber. Mom thinks it was a true cucumber. It was a true cucumber.
I think so, because I remember her saying we all thought he was pretending, but he really did pull out and say, no, really, it was a real cucumber. How the
So,
heck a cucumber got in our toilet, we have no idea. So,
so got that stitch marker from Melissa, Nitty by Nature, of a pickle, of basically a cucumber. Debbie was showing it on her Periscope, and we started cracking up. Yes, there it is. She didn't even know the story. I don't think it was just that she said. So I want to talk about Melissa Nitty by Nature. I'm going to show her since we showed on the last podcast. Take one. The stitch marker holder or the progress keeper. I call it the keeper of the progress keepers. Now Debbie's is filled up. I haven't filled mine up yet. Isn't that the coolest thing? Oh yeah, there's Debbie's bling bling. And this is Nitty by Nature, Melissa. So, so pretty. So thank you, Melissa. You're so cute. Thank you for being generous. I have to put all mine on. Okay, so since we're talking about people and gifts they give, should we jump right in?
I'm sure. I am always so blown away. I I don't know really how to feel about it, because I feel like I have so much stuff and it's enough is enough. And I feel like people, if you would like to send us something to give as a giveaway, that maybe that would be okay. But you don't have to keep sending things to me and Amy all the time and all the time and all the time, because I feel like, yes, what did you have to say, young lady?
I don't know how they feel about it. They probably like show it on your podcast and send me something back, dude. No, they probably don't. They are so not looking for anything in return. I'm just
No,
joking.
no.
Okay,
So we also
after I
got a,
broke
go ahead.
it,
I was just going to say, we also got contacted by Michelle, and she opened up a little Etsy store. And it's funny because she sent also some stitch markers and some progress keepers to Sue and Chelsea. And Sue just showed them again on their podcast this last time. I was just watching their podcast a few minutes ago. Yes. And look, this is what she gave to us to give away in a giveaway. Cute little sock progress keepers. Aren't they
they're
cute?
so cute. And the name of her shop is
Love by Little Map. Love by Little Map on Etsy. So go over there and check out her shop. Thank you, Michelle, very much for sending all those pretty progress keepers. And she also sent a really beautiful little tin with Audrey Hepburn, is it? Yeah, I have one too. Mine's downstairs. I forgot to bring it up, but so sweet of her. Thank you so much, Michelle. We really, really appreciate it. And then I also did a swap in the bag swap. Gosh, it's been, Amy, I think it's been 6 weeks now since we recorded way back at the end of June. And we did get a lot of things in the mail. I did a bag swap with Susan, and she sent me a whole load of candy and stitch markers and a bag and minis. So I'm going to get mine out right here. That's the bag she sent to you, huh? So cute. Look at mine.
Susan.
Say that again.
I said thank you very much. It was really nice for you to send for me as well. You didn't have to do that. I'm really glad you did though. Little birdies, very cute.
Yeah, and I really like the it's a heavier duty fabric, and it has really cute inside. And she made us little progress keepers with our names and with Wendy's name. I don't know if you can see that.
That's so, so generous of her. Really, very, very cool. Thank you,
Yeah, see
thank you,
mine?
Susan. She's
Let's see.
Mrs. RN. Is that correct, Deb?
Yes, Mrs. Robinson RN is her Instagram name. And then she also sent me a whole bunch of minis as part of the swap.
And she labeled all your minis, didn't she? With those, was she the one that sent you the little feather that had all the lists?
Yeah, little feather tags. Can you see those?
Cute.
So thank you, Susan. And
I was
then,
involved
what's that?
with Jules. That
Mm-hmm.
was our podcaster swap.
Oh, I
And
forgot
she
my
said,
bag. I forgot something. Why don't you show that? I'm gonna run down and get the bag that I swapped with Michelle from Maple Moose Fibers. I'll be right back.
now I can talk about all the time. Okay, so Jules made this cute bag. It's a drawstring bag. I just love it. So cute. And she sent another bag to Debbie. And the last podcast, Debbie chose of the two bags, she chose this bag. Sorry for the crinkling, deafening anybody. This is the one that Debbie chose of the two bags that Jules made. It's really a cool thing. This is just a zipper bag.
I love that.
It's pretty. Along with the bags, she also sent me, and I didn't notice it until I took it out, some beautiful stitch markers by, it's called Creations by Uli. U-L-I. Everybody see the name?
Yes, that looks good.
And they're really cute. They're just little round circles hanging. I'm sure she does a whole bunch of different kinds, but this one has a little note.
And that also looks like it came on a ring, of like a little organizer ring.
Which is really neat. I like that instead of, I don't know, you get them in different ways, but that's really nice to kind of keep it organized as well. And she sent me two beautiful skeins of yarn and some other things. She did send me some nuts and a cute little card and some chocolate. And, this skein of yarn I showed, this is from In the World, Into the World, and world is W-H-I-R-L-E-D. This is called 24th and a half century. This is definitely going to be a pair of socks.
I'm really interested to see how that knits up. Go a little bit, a little bit that way. That's going to be really cool with the kind of like stripy.
Yeah, I won't have to do much of anything, will I?
I would do that just vanilla. Do you think you can do vanilla?
Debbie, I don't know that I knit a pair of vanilla socks. I don't know that I'm capable of knitting a pair of vanilla socks.
Throw a pearl in there every now and then just to make it fun.
Pearl. And then the other skein of yarn was from Hot Knit Yarn.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful, and it doesn't have a color name.
That's really.
But it's this beautiful salmony, orangey, kind of pink. I don't know. It's a salmony, but it's real tonal. You can see that real light, and it has these little pops of all kinds of things. There's little pops of green and dark pink, almost like this. This is the one that you had asked if it was tweed, but it's not tweed.
Very pretty.
So thank you. Thank you, Jules. That was a very generous. Too generous. So did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, I did a little bag swap with Michelle from Maple Moose Fibers. And remember how I joked with her and said she sent you a bag and she didn't send me a bag and she felt all bad. And I said, no, I was just kidding. I said, let's do a swap instead. So I sent her one of my Ghastly Luke bags, and she sent me, I picked out this fabric from her store because it reminded me of Wendy because it has little mice on it and the mice are camping.
Oh, so cute. I love that pink background. It really is pretty.
Isn't that cute? She put her little button on there.
Closer.
Our little progress keeper, the
Yeah,
little moose.
very cute.
So,
She has, if anybody is interested, she's got a great podcast.
and I guess I can show these now. Since the big reveal and big announcement has been made, let me get my
Yes.
sock blocker down and show you something on my sock blocker. I just posted this on Instagram. Da da da.
And
You see that?
Debbie, that doesn't look like the color that I remembered you showing initially. I love it. What was the name of that color? So
It's
tell
called
us about
it's
it.
called Winnie. So this is the new color, one of the new colors that Sue and Chelsea's new Etsy store is going to carry. Yes, they're opening an Etsy store. They're going to be selling yarn next Saturday. They're populating their shop. Sue and Chelsea showed on their podcast this morning that they recorded all of the different colors of the yarn. Fabulous, fabulous job, Sue. I'm so excited for you both. The Etsy store is going to be called Legacy Fiber Arts LLC, and they have a new Instagram account that's called Legacy Fiber Arts. So make sure you go over there and follow them. What's that?
ARTZ for arts.
Right, ARTZ for arts. And I just love this. Was there's the one with the stellina. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Does the sparkle show up at all?
Hold it still. So pretty, Debbie.
It's not a
Got all
super
those
heavy
different colors.
sparkle, but definitely in the sun you can see the sparkles. It's beautiful. So here it is in the cake.
You got a lot left over.
Well, I just have one sock done so far.
Did you use the 9-inch circs to do that sock?
I started with 9-inch circs, and I started knitting a new pattern that I was going to make up, and then I didn't like how the pattern was turning out, so I switched over to, I ripped it, I got down probably this far, and then I ripped it all back to the cuff, and then I just knit what's called the vanilla latte sock pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's basically it's it's like 6 stitches of stockinette and then 2 stitches of garter. So you do 1 row, knit 6, purl 2, and then you do the next row is all knit. So it knit up a lot faster, and it was just something that really helped to show off the yarn a lot better. Yes, go ahead.
So you decided to stay on 9-inch circs?
No, when I ripped it back, my hand, I woke up the next day and this part of my hand was all sore. And I had like, I'm holding them too tightly. I know, that's what you say.
Just,
I
try
can't
it
loose,
again.
I can't loosen up. It just, there's not enough of a needle to give me the leverage that I need to be able to go fast enough. So I used my highest sharps in my magic loop method, and it went a lot faster. I knit this in like 2 days.
I can knit a sock in 2 days with my 9-inch circular needles.
Well, then you can keep your 9-inch circular needles, and I will use my magic loop. Yes, I remember.
With its co-partner, this one. Oh, you've got this was the Zauber ball. It's, uh, it's a self-writing, it's a gradient. Zauber ball is gradient. So this is basically, I started here, and when I switched over, then it was turning into this red, and so then the other sock here. So the heels, toes, and cuff, well, this is the Eye of Partridge heel that's every other second row. Then the toes and cuffs are the hedgehog fibers in the popsicle colorway.
That's
And I
cute.
did a 2x. And yours are?
I knit
Was that
my Cozy Knitter Tequila Sunrise with the contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs, using the Smooth Operator, Susan B. Anderson Smooth Operator sock heel pattern. It's an afterthought heel. Yeah, and it turned out really well. I like how it turned out. I just did a straight up vanilla sock with 62 stitches, and
cute?
yeah, really love it.
And then another package I got from my sister had a nomadic yarns in it, and I never have knit with nomadic yarns before.
Neither have I.
Ball. But now I have, because Debbie was mad the last podcast that I knit a pair of socks already and she hadn't. She said, why don't we knit some Rhinebeck socks? Because the colorway name of this is Rhinebeck Sweater Weather. I said, oh, good idea. And I got it on like Tuesday or Wednesday, the package, and then when we podcast Sunday, I had already finished my socks. She said, oh my gosh, you knit those without me. I went, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. But I did use Baronvula September Forest is the orange for the cuff, toes, and heels. And I just did my sort of modified little, see, even with self-striping, I can't just do vanilla. Sorry.
Show the bottom of the foot so we can see what it looks like just plain.
Okay. Well, I did vanilla. The bottom of the foot.
That's the way I'm going to knit mine, I think. I'm just going to do straight vanilla. I love how that looks.
And there's with the pattern. And it really does give it a little, very little added interest. Okay, so anyway, sorry, Debbie. If I knew how important it was for us to knit them together, and I would have won, because you always do 2 at a time on Magic Loop, and I do mine first. I would have won anyway, but I would have waited and saved the knit for us to do. So anyway.
That's okay.
Too late now.
Too late now. So here's my ball of nomadic yarns.
It's so pretty. It's somewhere.
She's got a cute little tag too.
Oh. The yarn is very soft, but it's very durable too. And durable yarns, especially for socks, you're always afraid they might be a little too durable and not as wearable because they might be a little extra scratchy. Really, totally not. Very soft. I would knit a wrap or a hat or a cowl or something in this.
Very soft. Yeah. Really, really soft. Okay, so let's see.
On my Oy Vey, since it is finished. I don't know if I put it on last time.
I think you did.
The pattern is available on Ravelry. I put it up Sunday or Monday, I don't remember.
So pretty, Aim.
Warm, and this was, I just used some kaleidoscope yarns and Moods of Color Grow from Sweden. This purple is hers, but it's basically a long asymmetric. Starts little, and I put a pop of color. Of course, nothing can be the same in my life. So anyway, a couple people have hopped over and gotten that pattern. I can't wait to start seeing. I don't know. I don't even put a hashtag. I guess it's just Oy Vey. It's O-Y is the first word, and the second word is Vey, V-E-Y. It's Jewish for oh my goodness.
Love
like
it.
I say, our teenagers, right? Like way, no way, way. That's kind of what in Jewish. I bet.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so should we talk about, since we talk about wrap, should we talk about our exciting news
I need
that
to,
we're in the
yes, but I'd like to show a couple of my finished objects because I did a test knit, and since we took the last podcast down, I want to show my test knit that I did. And we're getting close to the finish of our knit along for our random act of color. There's about maybe a week more to go on the random act of color, and I think there's been about 19 posts in the finished object thread, and quite a few chatters going on in the chatter thread. So let me show that first since I'm talking about it. So this is my. Have you finished your random act of color, Missy Miss?
Boy, I think our Braves, our baseball is going very well here in Atlanta. Keep
I guess
moving on.
I guess that's a no. You can't be present. You can't be present with the current thing going on. You have to be to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Okay.
Progressive. That's my progressive. Oh, beautiful. So pretty. Mine one day will be as pretty as yours, maybe. So pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I didn't
I
even bring
really
mine over
like how
here.
it turned out. And like I said on the last time we recorded, I have a beautiful orange coat that I'm going to wear in Rhinebeck, and this is just going to go so pretty with the orange. Isn't it nice?
The coat that's on.
What?
Well, orange riding coat. Not a red
Yes.
riding coat, a riding coat.
Yes, it's a little
And what was
orange.
that riding hood riding? Red. What was she riding? Did she have a bike? No, she walked. Did she not? She didn't have
I
a
think
horse.
I don't know why she was called Riding Hood. I have no idea why. Okay, so the test knit that I did was so fun. This was Jennifer Lassonde or Downseller Studio Podcast, Boston Jen, did a new pattern. It's called the Riley Rose Shawl, named after her niece. And this is what it looks like. It's actually knit from side to side. You start on this end, and it has a really interesting beginning. I was talking about that last time. And then it has like a, what do you call that? I-cord, thank you. I-cord edging, and you knit up and down this way, back and forth this way in the stripes.
So neat. Look at those cool different patterns. Reminds me of a sampler.
So you never get bored with this one because you're always changing color or you're always changing pattern, and it was a really fun knit. I knit this over the long 4th of July weekend and a little bit beyond. And I like how it lays too, because it's almost like a little kerchief scarf. Isn't that pretty?
Three colors.
3 colors. This is a pink by Oloops. This is the Herbstblatt Regina's Hydrangea Garden. And then the cream is just the Mad Tosh Merino Light. Isn't that pretty?
I still wish I would have kept. Still wish I would have kept Regina's yarn, but she told me to give it to her, you, so I did, and it turned out beautiful with it.
I'll give you a mini. How about that? I'll give you a couple minis. And then I also knit something up pretty quickly when Abby and Sane were here. Wendy's kids came for a visit, and I received a beautiful skein of yarn that I purchased in the mail from Baron Wula. And I paired that with a Madeline Tosh Merino Light, and I knit Abby a foolproof cowl.
So pretty. That's garter as well, isn't it, Debbie?
Yes, it's garter. And it's the construction on this is really interesting. Isn't it pretty? You start with like a shawl, a V. You start in the middle right here. And then you work your way out, and then you knit the sides, and then you connect it back together on this side. You connect these edges, and then you knit it in a V back up, and you bind off.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that up? I don't know. Some smart lady. So,
Could have been
no, well, I guess it could have been, but she was the one that wrote the pattern. So did you have some yarn you wanted to show from... We're having video difficulties now. I don't know why, but...
We're gonna have really weird storms and things come through this week, so I don't know if it's that or not. But I wanted to show in my package that you sent Nomadic Yarns. You sent me that skein of yarn ink that I was just goo goo and gaga over, and now I can't wait to knit it up into some socks.
Is that what you're gonna make?
Yeah, I think so. And I love, and I've talked about Yarn Cafe Creations. I don't know if you can see it any better now, Betty.
It's beautiful.
For the skeins. And this is called Ocean Mist. I absolutely love this. And it's merino. It's her sock. Let me pull out the... called Ocean Mist. 437 yards. And it's superwash merino and nylon. But you would never think it. It feels like it's got cashmere in it. It is so soft. It's squishy. So I got Ocean Mist. She's just so sweet as well. I'll let you see.
It's pretty.
Ocean Mist. And the other one that I got was, and it's nice because not everybody has Swift. So if you want to just, when you get it, you can just knit it. You can just start knitting it. This is called Pretty Ponies, I believe. Let me look. Yes, Pretty Ponies.
That's really cool.
I've got probably socks with these. Skyland may end up with socks of this.
So that'll make fabulous socks for her.
I may make them long so they come above her boots, so she'll like really have long socks instead of boot toppers. So those are two of my new yarns. And since our last podcast, I went to my local yarn store and bought 3 skeins of yarn as well. But would you like to show something before I show these?
Sure, I will show another surprise out of the blue gift that was just so sweet that my friend Deanna from the Skeins in School podcast, she has an Etsy store called Swatch This Fiber Arts. And I don't know why she sent this. She was one of the test knitters of my Wendy Sky, and after that I sent her a package to say thank you, and I guess she felt like she wanted to send me a package back, and it was so sweet. So this is in her Shelley fingering base. It's MCN, 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere, and the colorway is Winter Moon Song. And it's just such my colors. Look at that.
We talked about podcast. They really are. Oh, these in blue.
Yeah, look at that.
Indigo. My favorite.
I can't wait to open this up and skein it up. And then she also sent me a bunch of her minis. So beautiful. Several that she dyed up herself. Here, she made her Wendy Sky out of these colors.
Right, I remember. Yeah.
And then these were ones that she had dyed up as part of the podcaster challenge. Oh no, these are Game Time Turtle Pearl. That's a different one. These are the ones she knit up. She dyed up. Aren't they cool? And then she sent me some Bärenwool, my favorite yarns. This is Silky Bear. This has got silk in it. So beautiful. So thank you, Deanna, so much. You're so sweet. She sent me some little magnets, cute little magnets for the fridge, and some coffee and tea. I can't wait to open this up.
Beautiful on you.
And I
I
also
remember.
got, go ahead, what were you going to say?
Go ahead. Go ahead. You go.
I also got some more yarn from Bärenwool and some yarn from Connie. You want me to show those real quick? Do you remember this from Connie?
Oh, and that's chili. You have to show her. Mother loves the neons.
I might have to give
She
that to
loves
her.
neons. She gets the most. She gets the most compliments at church from things that she's using on skin.
Well, you know why they're complimenting her? Because they're shocked. And it's shocking
No,
for the elderly to see neon.
they all have macular degeneration and cataracts, so neon is probably the only colors they actually can see. And I think they're hinting to her for her to knit them something, except they just don't want to come out and say it because they know the answer would be no, no, thank you.
These are the other two yarns that I got from Bärenwool.
So
This one's
pretty.
called Cookie, and this one's called Mojito.
So pretty. Very nice. Those look like a cookie. Ooh, so pretty. Vicky does such a nice job, doesn't she?
Yeah, look at that. Look at the speckles.
How do people get? I mean, I don't even think twice about ordering from Vicky. I know she's in Germany, but her yarns come quick, don't they, Debbie? I mean,
They really do. They really do.
it's just in time for you to forget that you ordered it. It shows up, and you're just like, surprise! It really is very quick. At least when I first. Okay, so can I show a couple of things at the local yarn store?
Sure.
I had never heard of these people, but Debbie said she had. Frolicking Feet. They're from Maine. And this colorway is called Navajo Sky.
Mm.
I love these oranges and teals and greens. Debbie, you would not have chose this for yourself, would you have?
No, it's beautiful,
Oh,
but it's just not something that would have drawn me.
I guess you're not getting socks. Sorry then.
What are you going to
Or
make
maybe I will.
socks?
I think I'm going to make socks out of this. I think with all these different stripy colorways, I'm going to
Yeah.
have to. I think it's screaming. And then the other, okay, so there's a father son indie dyers out of Pennsylvania. Their name of their shop is different. Okay, Meadowcroft Dye Works. And I'm not sure what all comes under the umbrella of that, but yarn.rehab, and it's not .com, it's yarn.rehab. If you go to yarn.rehab, it'll take you right over to their shop where you can buy the yarns that this father-son dye. This one's called Rock Shelter, or is it Bell Tower Vespers? I think this is Bell Tower Vespers.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's really pretty.
They do really gorgeous dyeing work. And it's fingering, and believe it or not, this is 100% superwash merino, and it is so soft. I would think there was some silk or something in here. And the other one that I got
That can be a shawl.
is called, huh?
That can be a shawl.
My be. This one, I'm not sure yet. This is called Africa Dead Pharaohs.
You broke up a little bit there. It's called Africa what?
Dead Pharaohs. Dead Pharaohs.
Oh, okay.
Did you get it that time, or do you need to see the thing?
No, I got it.
It's a real tonal. It's got deep browns and greens. This might be a really cool pair of socks for a gentleman, maybe. I bet it's hard for guys. I mean, when I think about Eric and some other people, and all these pretty little thing,
Yeah.
colorways and yarns, and it's just like, is there anything out there for a guy? Project bags too. So those are the 3 new skeins of yarn that I picked up at the local yarn store this week that were not shown on the last skein. And we forgot to talk about the young, not so much us in our younger years, the Hey Sister podcast.
I went and watched them. They are so sweet, and they're like models. They're so pretty. My goodness. And they look like they're about 23.
They look like they're about 12 to me. And they're like, oh, we just had a baby. I'm like, oh, what are you doing in Virginia? Is it Virginia or West Virginia? I said, are you guys cranking them out early? They look like they're about 15 years old.
I know.
They are much older, not much, but they are in their mid to late 20s.
They're old enough to be having children and raising a young family. And they're called the Hey Sister podcast, because I know you didn't hear that from Amy because the sound is still pretty bad. And I can't tell you how mad I am about this, because when we switched over to this new system with the new iPad, and we're FaceTiming now instead of Skype, and still it's rough. So we apologize. Thank you everybody for sticking with us. And those of you who get frustrated, I guess, if you can't stand it, maybe try back on the next one. Hopefully we'll have better connection on the next one.
So go check out Hey Sister Podcast.
Yes. Hey Sister Podcast. They're really sweet. And they have a lot of really cool projects too.
You have anything else, Deb? I don't.
No, I don't have anything else to show. We did want to make a quick announcement though about a new collaboration that we're doing, which I just posted about on Instagram. So we have decided to move forward with a mystery knit along. And for those of you who commented and said, yes, I'll do it. Thank you very much. It's very fun for us to collaborate on projects together. And this time we are collaborating with Miss Lauren from Lolo Did It. And she has offered to let us use her colorways for our pattern. And Amy has 3 colors and I have 3 colors. And I don't know that I can really show mine now. I guess I could. Unfortunately, they're downstairs, but there you go. You can see Amy's colors. And fairy pools.
Tea on the green, and blue suede shoes.
And my 3 colors, if you head on over to her shop, my 3 colors are zombies, blue tourmaline, I think, is the name of the aqua color. And then I have a gray that's called, I can't remember.
Reading it right now, you know that, right?
I know. Sorry, Lauren. I posted it on my Instagram a little while back. You'll see. Go back and look on my Instagram on Debbie S. Reese.
We have other collaborations.
We do?
Did you hear? We do. Sue and Chelsea and the Grocery Girls, they are going to help host our mystery knit along in their Ravelry group. So there's going to be 3 colors, 3 clues, and 3 chances to win.
Yep. That'll be so fabulous. Yeah.
You can pair pair up any three colors. We just happen to choose a variegated and then two tonals, but just like the three random active color, you can really put three different yarns together and it'll be fabulous.
Yes.
So coming soon, so be on the lookout. You will get plenty of notice before the first clue comes out. So be thinking about which yarns you want to choose.
Right. And I think that's about it, other than our normal group news. Gabicorn is out there. I think she's on her way to Deanna. And our birthday swap, I'm going to close this coming week for August. If you have a birthday in September, I'll open the thread for the September birthday swap. And we're looking forward to going to Rhinebeck. It's coming up pretty soon. We need to be working on our Rhinebeck sweaters. Maybe we should have a little... Do you want to have a knit-along for a Rhinebeck sweater knit-along?
That'd be fun. Where it ends the day before we leave for Rhinebeck, which is October 13th.
Maybe we can draw for winners while we're at Rhinebeck.
We need to do a periscope at Rhinebeck for sure, and that's what we can do. We can draw for winners. Okay, let's do that. Let's open up a Rhinebeck sweater knit along, just whatever. If obviously you'd be going if you were knitting a Rhinebeck sweater, and it'll close October 12th, which is the day before we leave for Rhinebeck, right?
Right.
We leave the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do and we'll post. We'll probably post on Instagram when we do our Periscope, so as many people can get on. And we'll pull prize. We'll pull one prize from the chatter thread from the Rhinebeck sweater knit along while we're at Rhinebeck. We'll buy something really cool from Rhinebeck for our person.
Yes. We'll probably draw two prizes, one for the chatter thread, one for the finished objects thread. And it doesn't have to be a sweater, but it needs to be a garment, like a large wrap or a sweater. I do have another little thread open for my official Rhinebeck sock pattern. Don't touch those leaves. That's open in our group right now. If you want to put your pictures in there, that's a very loosey-goosey, no start time. I guess finish time will be Rhinebeck. If you want to participate in that and you want to chatter and post your pictures, go ahead and do that in the. I think that might be a finished object thread, but I might change it to a chatter thread and just have a chatter thread in there. So that'll be something fun to do all together too. So we'll be closing our random active color. That'll be finished. We'll be working on our mystery knit along. That will also finish before Rhinebeck, and we'll have a Rhinebeck garment knit along.
Now, you're here to remember that when we shut this off?
I think I can remember that when we shut this off. I think maybe next time, Aim, we'll have to try and see if we can get your headset to connect to the iPad, because I think the sound will be better if you're connected through Bluetooth. I think that's part of the problem, is it's not picking up your voice very well.
Because the microphone is right here. Is that better?
Yes. Maybe you need to have something set up behind the microphone, so like a little cup of some kind that will help to make the sound better.
It sounds better.
Not really.
Figure it out.
I'm so over it, Amy.
Right,
I'm so over it.
Oh, it's driving me crazy, and it drives everybody else crazy too. But we're going to put this one up, come hell or high water. It doesn't matter what it sounds like. Skein 12 is going up.
That's
so
right.
If you were frustrated, feel your pain. But if you can't be kind,
be quiet. We don't want to hear no more. I can't hear Amy and
no. Gotta do a high five.
Okay, love you.
Talk to you later. Mwah.
Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you joining us and being part of our little fun craziness here. So, see you next time.